Hi, everyone. It is Saturday, and we'll start with 21 questions. Let's see what shakes loose. Good morning. Good morning. It is Black Spring with Autumn again, once again on your Saturday. So I appreciate it for everybody that was able to pop in. If you were able to pop in yesterday, it's always nice to have you guys around, and your voice and your presence gives this program life. So I appreciate you guys so much, but I want to get into a few things this morning. Unfortunately, we're going to go back to Chicago with a bit of a loss, another loss, a double-sided loss, which, tragedy and injustice is prevailing on both sides. Okay. So we're going to have a look at that. We're going to have a look at a loss there in Chicago, and one specific interview we were able to catch that was televised. And I want to share that one with you, the clip from that. Also, we have a story out of Minnesota in which another issue with, quote, immigrants, end quote, receiving funding, or to me, this is bribery. It's an entanglement bribery, but we'll go to that. And then also, hey, if you got funds and you were drawing them from your bank, they got 21 questions. Why and where's the proof? All right. So before we get into any of that, let's have everybody check your status. Thank you so much again for tuning into this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I really appreciate it. So I hope you guys are doing well out there. And yes, I am bringing you 21 questions, which of course you will be able to ask those questions or pose questions as you like as time goes on throughout this stream. So come on, give it a little bit of time, and we'll see what your thoughts are. Of course, I'll bring the pendulum out so that we can accommodate the 21 questions. And if you have questions yourself, feel free to pick up and chime right in. All right. So thank you so much. But before we do that, let's check out our friends and say thank you to our subscribers and supporters, and of course the viewers like yourself. So we're going to take a quick little second, and we're just going to go over to our friends over on Twitch, and then we're going to try to keep you guys informed and inform you about what's happening over at Rumble, and encourage you to join us in our campaign on Rumble. All right, guys, thank you so much. And now for our Rumble campaign. Okay. All right. So thank you so much once again for tuning in. So let's go very quickly because just when you think you can leave this thread from, there's so many one to watches, but there's developments. And to me, this is actually to me a little bit more like deja vu. in many cases, many of these towns that are dealing with immigrants, illegals, um, they're going to start to resemble at some point, if not worse, than 2019, the end of 2018 in on the southern border. I think things are going to implode, and I think it's going to implode in a domestic kind of a domestic slash, unknown, group of people kind of way. The cultures are getting ready to clash, and I don't know what the ultimate break will be. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a look at that first story. I hope you guys are doing well out there, and as always, I want to thank you so much for tuning into this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. And thank you for your support and just for coming out and being around. It is a battle out here, but we're doing our best. We're staying in the groove here. All right, so let's haul on over to our liner. Let's haul over to our liner that involves the immigrant death. Unfortunately, see, this is what this kind of chaos and this kind of social experiment, this global experiment that they're doing right now, it's costing lives. So here again, to me, this is just another the way, crimes of humanity. These people, whether they're being pawns or whether you believe they've just been dealt a bad hand, we're all being dealt a bad hand. Here it comes. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so what you have here, it says immigrant dies at shuttered Woodland school that stirred controversy. Though the police haven't said any crime was involved in the death, older woman Jeanette Taylor said the first known death of an immigrant at a city of Chicago operated shelter will heighten community concerns. Okay, so here you have some image here in which it shows allegedly immigrants carrying their belongings into a former Woodlawn Elementary School converted into a temporary shelter earlier this year. Okay, so according to this, an immigrant died Friday morning at a shuttered elementary school in Woodlawn that's being used as a temporary shelter, marking the first publicly known death at a city-owned facility since large numbers of immigrants began arriving in Chicago last year. Officers responded at about 6:15 a.m. to a call of a 26-year-old woman who was, quote, foaming at the mouth and unresponsive, end quote, at the old Wadsworth Elementary School building, 6420 South University Avenue, according to an alert from the Chicago Police Department obtained by the Sun-Times. He was pronounced dead there. A police spokesperson didn't provide any additional information, but said detectives were conducting a death investigation, indicating the fatality isn't thought to be the result of a crime. Natalia Duravyany, a spokeswoman for the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office, said an autopsy hasn't been conducted yet. The man hasn't been publicly identified because his family hasn't been notified of his death, she said. Andres and Jose Duarte didn't know the man who died, but Jose Duarte, 23, said the death shook him deeply. Quote, "It's weird because we don't know what happened," end quote, he said. The couple from Venezuela arrived in Chicago a few weeks ago with their 5-year-old daughter, Leo Scals. The mother and daughter have been staying at a temporary shelter in Piotrowski Park in Little Village, and Jose Duarte has been sleeping at the Wadsworth Respite Center. Hang on just a second here. He said he had heard about the death from others staying there who said the man was found dead by his roommates when they got up to look for work. Quote, "They tried shaking him several times, but he wasn't getting up." Duarte said he was told, quote, "We didn't even know him, but he's a human being." Johan Ferrer, an immigrant from Venezuela, knew the man who died only in passing, but said he was disturbed by the discovery. "One comes a long way," said Ferrer, 36, One comes for a dream, passing through the jungle and everything. It's not easy. The city is facing a growing immigrant crisis that has led to racially charged public debates over funding to support the influx of arrivals or to temporarily house them. Since Texas Governor Greg Abbott began sending migrants to Chicago by bus and plane last August, more than 8,000 have arrived, mostly from Central America and South America. The proposal to turn Wadsworth Elementary into a respite center stirred controversy among Woodlawn residents, leading to accusations of racism against some Black residents who opposed the plan. Alderwoman Jeanette Taylor, the 20th district, said the first known death of an immigrant will heighten community concerns. Quote, I just want to make sure it wasn't a fight, a shooting, or anything like that, end quote, Taylor said. Quote, but it's a death, so people are definitely going to be concerned. And because it was there, we got to make sure that he wasn't sick. It wasn't disease, end quote. A cathartic and racially charged debate Wednesday in the Chicago City Council left Taylor in tears as she spoke of being torn about supporting the use of surplus funds to house, feed, and care for migrants, even as the needs of Chicago's Black residents continue to be ignored. Don't let the tears fool you, Taylor said during the debate. When I have these tears, it's usually because I'm mad as hell and I want to fight. Taylor then declared her intention to vote in favor of $51 million in funding, saying, quote, it's the right thing to help other people because as Black people, that's what we do. But when the hell are you going to help us? Her colleagues gave her a standing ovation as voices from the gallery could be heard shouting, traitor and sellout. Taylor is an ally of Mayor Brandon Johnson and the mayor's choice to chair the city council's education committee. She said she plans to meet with him Monday to, quote, figure out next steps toward keeping the community and migrants safe. Quote, we need to be transparent and talk about what's the real plan to get people taken care of, end quote, Taylor said. A lot of that was never discussed with me, nor was it discussed with the community, end quote, she said, asserting that former Mayor Lori Lightfoot's administration kept key information from her. She questioned how the shelter at Wadsworth is run and said 500 men were being housed there with just 80 women. Quote, that's a recipe for disaster, end quote, Taylor said. I'm concerned about that. Now, with this death, not really knowing what happened, I'm concerned about the health issues that might be in there. She said she'll urge Johnson to examine, quote, the spaces, how we take care of them, and then what actually happens there. Wow. This is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible stuff here. I tell you what, give me just 2 shakes here. We're going to work this out here.